asteroid Earth impact mitigation drill, NASA is to participate again in a tabletop exercise simulating Earth impact of an asteroid or comet, whatever you want to call it. The thing is that this has happened in the past. This is a well-known area, the Manicouagan impact crater in Quebec. But it's not only here that we see them all over the world, especially in with the scars that we have from the Younger Dryas comet impact that left a layer of ash. And from what the geologists tell us, that was a worldwide event of a comet that broke into fragments. And of course, even today, we don't seem to have the technology to save Earth from such a site. This is the comet impact that happened about 13,000 years ago, and you can see that these are confirmed impact sites. Look at North America, look at Europe, look at Australia. So this is a very important fact that we have to mitigate. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. Earth will be impacted, and what are we going to do about it? JPL Center for Near-Earth Object Studies will lead the hypothetical impact scenario to see how international space agencies respond to an actual impact prediction. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Now, these types of exercises happen every 2 years. The last one took place in the United States, and they supposedly had a huge asteroid coming, and the tabletop exercise had them blasting it with nuclear bombs, but one of the pieces, a big chunk of the asteroid supposedly came and fell onto an area close to New York City, killing millions of people. So that was a failure again. So you can understand that this is only tabletop, but still. Now, during this week, the week of April 26th, members of NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, PDCO, will participate in a tabletop exercise to simulate an asteroid impact scenario. The exercise depicting its fictional event is being led by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, CNEOs for short, allowing NASA's PDCO and other U.S. agencies and space science institutions, along with international space agencies and partners, to use the fictitious scenario to investigate how a near-Earth object, NEO observers, space agency officials, emergency managers, decision makers, and citizens might respond to work together to an actual impact prediction and simulate the evolving information that becomes available in the event an asteroid impact threat is discovered. The fictitious impact scenario will occur during the 7th IAA Planetary Defense Conference, hosted by United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs in cooperation with ESA, European Space Agency. It will evolve over 5 days of conference starting Monday, April 26th, and at several points in the conference program, leaders of the exercise will brief participants on the latest status of the fictitious scenario and solicit feedback for next steps based on the simulated data that is discovered each day. These types of exercises are specifically identified as part of the National Near-Earth Object Preparedness Strategy and Action Plan, developed over a 3-year period, published by the White House in June 2018. The Lindley Johnson NASA Planetary Defense Officer says each time we participate in an exercise of this nature, we learn more about who the key players are in a disaster event and who needs to know what information and when. These exercises ultimately help the planetary defense community communicate with each other and with our governments and others to ensure we are all coordinating should a potential impact threat be identified in the future. So far, NASA has participated in 7 impact scenarios, 4 at previous planetary defense conferences in 2013, 15, 17, 19, and this year's, of course, every 2 years this happens, and 3 in conjunction with Federal Emergency Management Agency FEMA. The joint and NASA FEMA exercises include representatives of several other federal agencies, including Department of Defense and State. Hypothetical asteroid impact exercises provide opportunities for us to think about how we would respond in the event that a sizable asteroid is found to have a significant chance of impacting our planet, said Dr. Paul Chodas, director of CNEOs. He says details of the scenario, such as the probability of the asteroid impact, where and when the impact might occur, are released to participants in a series of steps over the days of the conference to simulate how a real situation might evolve. The fictional scenario kicks off April 26, when astronomers discover, quote-unquote, a potentially hazardous NEO considered a risk to Earth. Details about the imaginary asteroid's threat to our planet will evolve over the days of the conference, and exercise participants will discuss potential preparations for asteroid reconnaissance and deflection missions and planning for mitigation of a potential impact's effects. But it is a real parameter, and the international community has decided that a 1 in 100 chance of impact is a threshold to begin response actions. Now, last time they did this, their imaginary asteroid was the timing and the size and everything of the Apophis asteroid, which was to strike in April of 2029. So their fictitious asteroid was based on a real asteroid that is to be coming towards us April 2029, and it is hazardous for Earth impact. Now, going back to this, the Planetary Defense Conference and its exercise serve as precursors to the launch of NASA's Double Asteroid Redirect Test, DART for short, which is the first ever actual demonstration of an asteroid deflection technology and the first test mission of the agency's planetary defense program. DART is scheduled to launch later this year and will impact the asteroid Dimorphos on fall 2022 to change its orbit in space, which could be a key technique for mitigating a potentially hazardous asteroid that's on a collision path with Earth, should one be discovered in the future. Through an international observation campaign, follow-up observations of Dimorphos using ground-based telescopes will monitor the orbit of Dimorphos and measure the change in time it takes the asteroid to orbit its larger companion Didymos due to DART's impact. DART will be the first test for planetary defense, and the data returned after it impacts Dimorphos will help scientists better understand one way we might mitigate a potentially hazardous near-Earth object discovered in the future, said Andrea Riley, program executive for DART at NASA headquarters, saying, while the asteroid DART impacts poses no threat to Earth, it is in a perfect location for us to perform this test of the technology before it may actually be needed. Now, starting April 26, this page will be updated during that week with quick snapshots that capture the results from each step of the exercise. More information on the exercise, including a fact sheet of updated findings, will be available on the exercise page on the 2021 PDC Hypothetical Asteroid Impact Scenario page. This was from Jet Propulsion Laboratory, NASA, on Bended Reality. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.